What is up, everybody? I hope you're having a fantastic day. So recently Apple had their big Far Out event where they introduced 3 new products, which were the iPhone 14 and 14 Pro, the AirPods Pro 2, as well as new watches. So I decided to make specific videos on each of these items, otherwise it would have been an insanely long video. So if you want to check out the other videos, I'll leave links in the description below. It's a small kind of playlist. And this video is going to be about the watches. So they announced 3 new watches, which were the Ultra, the Series 8, as well as a new SE. They also mentioned new bands and watch faces from Hermes. And a really big focus of the event was safety, especially fall detection and crash detection. There was a big focus on you might die at any moment, but Apple Watch is there to save you, which was kind of weird, but anyways, we're talking about the Apple Watch Ultra first. So it has a new regular look. It looks chunkier, it has a flat face and new buttons. It definitely looks bigger and more tough, which it actually is. It was really made for athletes and adventurers. It's not cheap. It comes in at $799 US. So it's the most expensive base watch model that you can get. If you go into the Hermes models and all of that, you can definitely spend more than that. However, for a kind of base model of a watch, it's the most expensive one they've made yet. And it's definitely for very specific people, which are, like I said, athletes and maybe adventurers and people like that. All of the new features aren't really features I believe most general consumers are going to be using. But let's now get into the design. So it is a bigger watch at 49 millimeters, and it's a titanium case, so it's really resistant. It's water resistant up to 100 millimeters and IPX6 resistant, so dust resistant. It definitely looks tough and durable, and they say it is also tough and durable. Definitely believe them. It has a similar look to the regular Apple watches. However, you'll see that it kind of raises a bit to protect their new sapphire crystal, which replaces the glass. So for those of you who don't know, sapphire crystals are used quite often in luxury watches because it's scratch resistant. So if you scratch it on something, it usually doesn't scratch. It's also really clear. However, if you drop it or if it like hits something really hard, it's usually quite brittle. So that's why they have the side of the watch come up a bit and why you have the flat design. And this new screen is also super bright at 2000 nits, which is twice the brightness of the Apple Watch 8 as well as the SE, which I'll talk about later. And they have a new Wayfinder watch face, which allows you to have a better compass, and it can also turn red for the night mode. A really cool add-on that they added is the new action button, which they mentioned was an international orange, which I didn't know was a thing and I work in design, but international orange is apparently a really noticeable orange. So this new action button is a customizable button which you can you can set whatever you want it to do. Some examples that they mentioned was to start a new workout, maybe start a diet, or add a point to your compass. So maybe you're camping somewhere and you're going on a hike and you don't want to lose your camping site. You could just press that button, add a point to your compass, and it'll be easy to find your way back. I think it would be really cool to be able to program that button according to the different watch faces. Because let's say starting a workout, for example, which is a feature that I might use. I don't see myself starting that workout or using that button like a lot during the day. However, if I could have like a fitness watch face or something, and when I click that button, then it starts a workout, maybe in my day-to-day life, it starts like a timer or something like that with a different watch face. I think that would be a cool feature. I don't know if it will be. And if you press and hold the action button, it will start a siren, which will play a sound that can be, people will be able to hear it from 600 feet away or 180 meters away. So it's 86 decibel. And so the idea is to attract help if you're, I don't know, if you fall or if you're lost or whatever. Some other new features of this watch is that you don't have the ability to choose if you want cellular or not. It just comes with cellular for every model of the Apple Watch Ultra. It has a dual speaker, so you should be able to have a clearer sound, as well as, of course, the siren. And they also mentioned a better microphone, so you'll be able to have a better interaction with Siri. You have a depth gauge, which is important for the new swimming features and diving features. The crown is larger so that it's a bit easier to use with gloves on. They also said it was coarser, so I guess the grooves are a bit deeper. And you also have a better GPS, which they mentioned could detect when you're on a track if you're gonna be going to run, which I thought was really impressive. The battery life is also better. It's still like not the best out there. It's 36 hours of normal use and up to 60 hours on low battery use. So the low battery use is not something that you can turn on for the moment. Well, you can't actually get this watch for the moment, it's in pre-order. However, once you receive that watch, it's not a feature that's going to be available for the moment. It will come later on, probably through an OS update, I would assume. And it comes with a few new bands. So when you choose the watch, you actually choose the band that it comes with. So you have the Alpine Loop, the Trail Loop, and the Ocean Band. The Alpine Loop is made for trails, so it's light and durable. The Trail Loop is made for runners, which I guess is a bit confusing. So it's made for long runs. It's really light, it's thin, it's flexible. And then you have the Ocean Band, which is made to really stick to you. Well, not stick to you, but you know, hold on really securely. So if you're in the ocean and you're swimming really fast, or if you're doing water sports or whatever, you won't lose your watch. And it's also made to hold on to a wetsuit. The new Apple Watch Ultra introduced a lot of features for divers. They partnered with a company that does dive computers, and now you have kind of a dive computer, I guess, app within the new watch, which allows you to have a lot of stats for divers, such as your depth. And up next is the Apple Watch Series 8, which is quite similar to the Series 7 really. So it comes in two different sizes. You have 41mm and 45mm. The 45mm is about $30 more than the smaller model, and it starts at $399 for the aluminum cases and $699 for the stainless steel cases. So it also has more narrow borders, or smaller kind of bezel, and the screen once again stretches all the way across to the watch, like it used to in the 7 as well. They said it was stronger. They didn't really explain why, but they said IPS6 dust resistant, it's crack resistant, and it's swim proof, so water resistant as well. And overall it has similar features, so you still have ECG and oxygen tracking, but it does also have new features, especially in the safety area, I guess. So you have better crash detection, you have fall detection, and emergency SOS. So if you're in a bad situation or whatever, you can access SOS services anywhere that you are. It also has temperature sensing, which is really useful for women's health, especially to predict ovulation periods. You have international roaming, so you can call people, text people, and even stream, I guess, music if you're not in your main country. And they also introduced other new features which weren't part of just the new watch. They're actually part of a new watch OS. So I have an older watch model, and all these features are available at the moment. Well, if you're running the beta, but regardless, it's gonna be available to everyone once they release the new OS. And those features are sleep tracking, which is really cool to see, because I used to pay for an app for that, and now I don't have to. You have your heart zones if you're training, and you have a better fitness app, so you can save workouts. Let's say, for myself, when I go to the gym, I do a bit of cardio to warm up, so I could set up like maybe a 10-minute run on the treadmill, and then however much time I'll take for my training. So you could kind of set up a routine like that. You can even set up rest times and stuff like that. So it's overall a better fitness app within the Apple Watch. And up next is the Apple Watch SE, which is a really good budget version at $249. It's actually the watch that I personally own. I have the older model, not the new model. And really, it's essentially the same as the older model. They said the case was redesigned so that the back of the watch matches the rest of the case, and what they're talking about is the this little part here, which I really don't think is a big deal. It seemed to be a big deal in their presentation, but I really don't understand why. Regardless of like what it looks like, you never see it, it's always on your wrist. So I thought it was a bit odd that they placed so much importance on that, but regardless, if it's important for you, you'll be happy to see that now The back of the watch matches the rest of the watch. And the new features that they included were all, they all had to do with safety, so crash detection, all of that. And the main differences between the SE and the other watches is first the price, of course. And then you don't have any ECG or oxygen tracking. It can track temperature, so for women you won't be able to track your ovulation estimates, and you can still track your cycles. However, it also doesn't have always on display like the other watches have. It's still 1000 nits and it's still retina display, it's just not always on. So if those features are important for you, Apple Watch 8 will be the one for you. So that was it for the Apple Watches. Let me know down in the comments below if you're going to be picking up an Apple Watch, and if so, which one are you going to be picking up, and what are going to be your specs. So maybe what color case you're going to get, and what band. And also, if you're planning to pick up the Apple Watch Ultra, let me know down in the comments below what usage you think you're going to get out of it. I'll definitely be curious to hear about that. And if you want to see the other videos I made, so on the iPhone 14 and on the AirPods Pro, I'll leave them up here in the screen as well as down in the description below. Have a fantastic day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.